Hi everyone, and welcome to my third vlog. Since my last vlog, I have moved out of the shelter that I was staying at, and it's a relief. The guy there was driving me crazy, beating me up for no reason. Every time he saw me, he just wanted to start a fight, and the staff weren't doing anything. It was a nightmare. But I'm out now, and as I moved out of that toxic living situation, and inshallah tonight I will be moving the rest of my stuff out of storage. I've moved some of it with my friend. And tonight we will do the other half. I had a in-person class for calculus yesterday, and I took notes for an online philosophy course where we study symbolic logic. Honestly, a lot of what I'm studying looks like hieroglyphs to me. But the professor wrote this formula on the board, and that made things a whole lot more understandable. So it was hieroglyphs, but then I saw like the formula behind it, like the whole AB breakdown of how it's done, and that really helped a lot. So I need to work on that, do some exercises. So you just put in maybe like at least 2 hours, look at it, see what's going on, and if that works out, maybe set another 10 hours. So that's something I can do over the weekend. And so what are my plans moving forward? Well, basically just to like treat the rest of my university career as a 9 to 5. This means I'm going to need to get better with Google Calendar and following it. So there are like a couple of key points that I wrote down to follow. This one is realistic goals. Because if you write down a goal and you like too ambitious, you end up not fitting the goal and you're making yourself feel bad about it. So you want to follow the goals. Sorry, I'm a long way off. And be able to follow the goals because you set realistic goals for yourself. because you set too much and then everything will just come crashing down. You want to set a realistic goal. Okay, I'm not gonna maybe I won't study 2 hours, but I will study, for example, 20 minutes. I will have done something, as opposed to constant existential dread. Yeah. So then I need to write down all my lecture and tutorial timings, as well as lab timings, because I have them, but I'm just keep looking at it from Acorn, the Acorn page. But I should definitely have that in a Google Calendar, so then I can see exactly when everything is, and then accordingly schedule, stuff like groceries, study time, when I go get my ears pierced, stuff of that nature. So then you need to follow it. You need to, once you put everything in your calendar, you follow the calendar, you do what you scheduled at certain times, and you proceed one realistic goal at a time. You schedule grocery shopping. You schedule time that you study for blah 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 blah. You schedule time to study for individual courses. You schedule a time for working on your schedule, because you may need to update it. You may find one week is different than the next, although it shouldn't change too much from week to week, given that your classes remain constant. So, as for the ear piercing, I called this parlor downtown, and they do tattoos and they also do ear piercings. So I head down there. It costs $45 for one. So I'm gonna get one right here. And then I will work on doing that cat, which I will get done on Friday probably, the piercing, and then what? And then tonight I will remove the remainder of my stuff. And now I'm in an actual house, so I'm in a much more conducive environment to studying, as I said. Not hanging around, people not conducive to studying, but hanging around other students, So hopefully, but this could be in months away. I want to do a book review of the Bible. I guess that sounds pretty weird. But, yeah, I want to do a book review of it. Not sure how that's going to work out with just, the size of the Christian canon that is the Bible. Right? Yeah. So, because you got the Old Testament, then you got the New Testament, and then you got everything else in between that you gotta study, Yeah. So, what do I remember so far, So there's you have Genesis, so, when God did something, and next thing you know it, there's a snake in a tree, and eating apples we shouldn't eat. Fast forward, there's Egypt, and Pharaoh being Pharaoh. It was so frustrating reading Exodus. It's first is God saves Like God sends a calamity, and he's like, "No, no, Moses, please save us, don't." And then Moses prays to God, it's gone. And the next Pharaoh's like, "Nah, I changed my mind." Yeah, it's just he's some character, isn't he? Yeah, that Pharaoh's really something else, huh? Yeah. So, and just incomplete the stuff you read in the Bible can really make your hair stand on edge. It's like, oh my God, that is shocking. That is some shocking stuff. It's like, where do we start? Friggin', uh, I feel just so dirty, just saying the stuff I read in the Bible. Like it says that like friggin' that like the prophet's daughter, I'm pretty sure it was a prophet. This guy's daughter friggin' got him drunk and did all sorts of stuff. I'm pretty sure I read that in the Bible. Did I actually read that in the Bible? I'm still shocked about it. I'm still shocked about it. Because I'm like a Muslim and we don't like, we have the Quran. And that's like a lot more PG-13, I think. I mean, it's not like all that sex stuff you find in the Bible. It's like, holy moly. It's like 50 Shades of Grey, except with a lot of illegal stuff. Yeah. I need to start going back to the gym. My gym schedule has been very much impacted since COVID, but I've been substituting for running. I'm trying to run 8 miles in an hour because, yeah, and a lot of people are like, "Ooh, that's so easy," but I guarantee you it is not easy. I've spent a year training and I still have not been able to run 8 miles in a single hour. If you do it, by all means, make a YouTube video about it. Put a comment in it, and put a comment and tell us how you're able to do that. Because I have tried it, and you are gonna run out of breath if you try and do something like that. You're gonna be like, how do I do this? Running 8 miles an hour is not easy. You should set your run tracker and see if you're actually able to do that. Because I've set mine, and I haven't been able to do it. Yeah. So I would like to express my thanks to everyone who has, both in comments and by messaging, send their support to me for my YouTube channel. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And for the remainder of the video, I would like to talk about some spiritual concepts that I've come across on the internet. Basically, the big idea is the cube of Saturn. Yeah, like that, cube. Yeah. You know, like the Tesseract, seen in Avengers, which is like an ancient symbol. So, the cube of Saturn is basically, from the way I understand it, a way used to describe the interreligious symbolic coincidences, if you want to call them that. If you want to call it a coincidence. Because, you know, stuff like, you know, look at geometry, and like, you could argue that Christians, you know, worship the cross. You know, they make a cross in front of it, they kneel, and, you know, the cross is like an open square, you know. I remember doing that in, what's it called, elementary school. You know, we got like we cut this like cross shape, and then we close it up and we make like a paper box, which was like a cross. Yeah. So there's that little pattern, you know, that you know, Christians have the cross, which is like an open cube, and Muslims have the Kaaba. We pray towards the Kaaba, and you could say it's just a building, but it's a cube. It's a black cube. And like Jupiter, it has a spot because there's a cornerstone, which is called the Black Stone, where we're supposed to try and kiss it when we do Hajj. And it's like a meteor, I guess, that fell from the sky, and now they put it there, so that there's a spot in the corner of the Kaaba, and then there's a crack where that in the Kaaba that was opened for Imam Ali to be born in, because that's what happened. When his mother gave birth to him, the Kaaba opened, she went in, I think it all closed behind her. She gave birth to him, the angels came down and did their work with like midwifery and stuff, and then it opened up and she came out of the Kaaba, and ta-da, Imam Ali. So there's a theory that the Kaaba is like a gateway to Saturn, which has rings, and you know, we go around the Kaaba for Hajj and Umrah, and we make like rings, you know, and like it rains like diamonds on Saturn, and there's like a hexagon on top, which is like pretty interesting. So yeah, millions of Muslims go every year to Hajj, and they make the rings, they form the rings of the Kaaba when they do their ritual, and they perform the religious rites of Hajj, like slaughtering a sheep or something like that. And we will discuss more about this and the next video, and I will go more into the sort of Shiite perspective of the cube of Saturn, you could say. And I will also explain how I have sort of used or applied ideas from Da Vinci's Vitruvian Man. And I will go more into that in my next video. But that is all that we have time for today. For now, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.